Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be removing rust and paint from an old trailer that my little brother gifted me recently. So that's what we're going to be doing. Hopefully I don't fuck this up. This is my new trailer. Today I'm going to be taking the side rails off of the trailer, and I'm going to be removing the paint and the rust using a couple different methods. I might actually even be removing the bed because it's coming up on the end. So I think what I'm going to do is remove the bolts, remove the sides, and then get it ready to be stripped down. Alright, first things first, I'm going to crawl under here and take the bolts off of the sides. They're being attached on the underside. So one of the other things I had to grab is a ratchet wrench. I'm gonna wear eye protection and hopefully this goes well. Okay, so here we are under the trailer. I'm not taking these off because they're the lights and I'm not gonna F around with those. I'm gonna loosen the bolts that are keeping the sides on. Looks like there's about 3 on each side. So let's get started on that. Different. Looks like they're not all the same size. So I'm gonna put down the camera and get some of these going, and then I'll get right back to you. So that one was not actually keeping anything on the side. That bolt was actually, well, it was keeping something on the side, but that bolt is actually keeping this frame attached to this frame. So I'll be leaving that bolt alone. And looky there. That bolt's already missing. So that's gonna be easy. So actually, I think I only have about 3 bolts to remove. Not bad. So I moved on to the next one, and I do not know what's going on with this, but it looks like, I mean, obviously something was there at some point, and it's keeping this bolt on. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to remove this without just using typical brute force. So this is another size, and since this is so long and I don't think I have a ratchet attachment that will fit that length over it, I'm just going to loosen the screw with the pliers and then remove it with my fingers. I'll have to put down the camera for that. Okay, I was under that trailer removing that last bolt, and I turn around on my back and look for the next one on the long length, and this is what I found. I don't know if you can see that, if I can get this to zoom in, but yeah. So this project is on hiatus until I can figure out how to get that out of there. I'm lucky that I didn't get stung. My head was literally like inches away. I almost pissed myself. So the yellow jackets have been rehomed. They are still flying around the trailer, so I'm not sure how much I'm actually gonna get done of this today, but That's something important I guess people should remember. If you've had a trailer sitting around for any amount of time in your backyard, you should probably, you should probably check for wasps' nests, especially if it's been a particularly dry summer. So as soon as I feel like I'm in no more danger of getting stung, I'm going to start working on the trailer again. Yeah, so I'll be back when it's safe. All right. I think that most of the wasps are gonna leave me alone now. They've been rehomed. They all sort of scattered when the nest was put into the box, and probably a little angry. But for wasps, they were incredibly docile, actually. No bites so far, fingers crossed. A couple of them are still swarming around, but I'm gonna do my best to continue to remove the bolts on this trailer, and we'll see what happens. There's something funky with the way the bolts are attached to the frame, that are attaching the sides to the frame and the front end. So I think I'm just gonna have to sawzall it off and then try to work on getting the bolts out. It kind of looks like the bolts got too corroded and maybe broke off or something. So I'm gonna bring out the big power. All right, so I got the sides off. Now I'm gonna take the bed off, and that should make it a lot easier for me to remove as much rust as possible. I think it kind of wasn't my intention. I just have to be really careful because there are still some wasps hanging around. Luckily there's a little breeze kicking up, so hopefully they'll be discouraged from hanging around much longer. And so yeah, I'm just gonna go through here and figure out exactly all the places that this is connected. Gonna use my ratchet. My ratchet, it's getting warm. I'm getting tired. So I'll get started on removing this bed, and then maybe I can actually get to removing some of the paint and rust off of this today. All right, so there's a nut under there that I'm gonna have to loosen, and because from top to the bottom it's not enough space for me to actually get my ratchet in there, so I'm gonna go back underneath here and loosen up the bolt. what I should have done with this one was not start loosening the top before I took the nut off the bottom, because now that one does not seem to want to come out. So I'm going to save that one for last and move on to the ones at the end. There's a wasp down here hanging out by my hand, so that's a little less cool, but let's see if I can still do this. Focus, Frankie, don't think about the wasp. It's swarming around you. Ugh, fucking wasp. Alright, I gotta see what I'm doing under here. Be the last one. Well, that was something. Okay, now I can access this better and get rid of this bolt, because it was not going to happen all on my own. My arms aren't go-go gadget. Okay, it looks like whatever was here was either wood that disintegrated. Looks like it's full of rocks. So I got the other one off, and it looks like just brute force is gonna be the way to go about this. So yeah, I'll do that until this battery, the camera died a bit ago. It got too hot, so if I lose you in the middle of this, it's because the battery died. That one was easier than the last one. Alright, I'm gonna go get my bolt cutter and just cut those off, because they're corroded too much and there's no way to get the nut off the bolt. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I don't have a bolt cutter, turns out. I thought I did. So I'm going to be using this little bolt saw, and a vice grips to remove the last bolt from this trailer. Here we go. Alright, fuck, finally. Okay, so that all took a lot longer than I was anticipating. So I think the next thing I'm gonna do is take the attachments on my drill and start removing a lot of the paint and the rust, and then anything that's around like small areas that can't reach, then I will be treating that with like with paint remover and Loctite, or like the Loctite navel jelly. And I watched some YouTube videos on the best way to spot remove rust from trailers and such, and there was several different methods people used. One of them was salt and vinegar. I'm gonna skip that because I just don't have time to mess around with a bunch of experiments, but that's one thing you could allegedly use, is a salt and vinegar solution. So I'm going to go and put my attachment on my drill, and I'll be back. Make sure you put on safety mask and glasses, just to make sure that you don't breathe in any of the paint and rust that's going to be flying through the air. You get the idea. I'm gonna turn this off for a while and do some work, and then catch up with you in a little bit. See you later. I think that's all I'm going to record. This is going to take me probably the better part of tomorrow to finish, and you'll have to come back for my second video to see what it looks like when it's done and before I start painting it. I've got some colors in mind. I also have to pick up the materials for the new sides that I'm going to put on it. I haven't quite decided where I'm going with that yet, but thank you for watching my video today. Please like and subscribe and share, and have a great day. So it's a lot more work than I thought it was going to be, but that's usually how this ends up for me. At least it's not as bad as when I stripped that chair, because it's going to take me probably just as long to do this, but it's bigger. So